So we're doing a dishwasher installation today. First things first, you want to check for power before you do anything. Either unplug or turn the breaker off. And you still want to check for power once power is off, just to make sure. Then you want to disconnect, turn the water off. And while you're there, you can actually disconnect the drain hose right there. And you're going to undo your wires. You do have a wire restraint. You can remove that. And you do have 2 screws up top into the cabinet. Then you can pretty much just wiggle the dishwasher out. Now that copper line, if you do have a copper line, you might have to cut it. It's easier to remove sometimes. And your dishwasher, make sure you fully examine it for dents before you install it. I've had issues with dishwashers where they have a leak and you install the unit and you have to uninstall it. Make sure you get a cord restraint. Now on this Whirlpool dishwasher, you will have to remove the float assembly before you can actually attach your wires. Just 2 clips and it pops up. And you do have a tiny connector. Make sure you put your line to line and neutral to neutral. Line is the black and neutral is the white. Your copper is the ground. It goes to the green screw. And of course your cord restraint is already installed. Put your cover over. And that section is done. Two tabs. And this is the connector. I did not show how to remove it, but 2 tabs on the side. You squeeze, pull, and insert your connector right there. Now I like to connect the water up to it before you do anything and go ahead and turn the water on so that you'll have a basically preliminary to make sure that there's no leaks, and that helps as well. Make sure you level your unit and plumb it. You can do that before you installed it. And this is your hardware, pretty much your clamps and your 2 screws for your installing. Now this can be tricky. Make sure you don't flip it backwards. Okay. And you do have 2 mounting areas. Hopefully you can see. And you do need to bend that little tab up. And that's the correct way. And that tab to the left gets twisted up and that locks it in. Just like that. Hopefully you can see it. I did include another photo. Now, that's your drain hose. And there's a little slot, which I think, yes, I did. Just make sure it's all the way installed to the top and snug properly. That's a tab. Hopefully you can see it. It is bent up and that locks it in. There's another clip of it, and that's the clamp how it should be. Don't worry about the other one. That's factory, it's fine. Everything looks good. I'm going to double check everything, make sure everything is fully installed. That's the clamp for the disposer or drain section. I normally use a better clamp. You can use the factory, or you can use a worm drive, which is the one that you use a 5/16 to tighten it up. So time to put on your cover. This helps to dampen the sound and moisture as well. I also did not show how to put the handle on, but the handle comes in a box and it has its Allen key. So pretty straightforward. You point the screw down to the floor, make sure that it's not exposed, and you just slowly tighten it. That's pretty much. Also, we're going to remove some of the film before you actually put the handle on. Now, your drain hose, when you install your drain, make sure it's at the top and not at the bottom of the cabinet, and that protects your dishwasher from having residual disposer water and sludge going into your unit. And make sure when your unit is fully installed, it is nice and flush all the way at the bottom, and it's even all the way around. Wouldn't hurt now to do last level and plumb, just to make sure everything looks good. But so far so good. And then you can remove a section, install the handle, and time to run a short cycle to make sure that you don't have any leaks. Now leave the bottom trim off until you have ran a cycle, and once you have established that there are no leaks, then you can go ahead and put the bottom trim on. And on the drain hose as well, going back to that, I like to leave a little loop, if you can, on the top, and that just gives you an extra buffer that you won't have any garbage flowing upwards. All right, thanks for watching.